Just a few years ago, North Korea's weapons program was treated like a bad joke, better known for its duds, misfires and fakes than its ability to threaten the United States. But in 2017, the North Korean weapons program stopped being funny. Instead, Pyongyang's persistent pursuit of ballistic missile and nuclear weapons technology led to serious talk about the risk of a devastating conflict between the United States and North Korea. This change wasn't due to a sudden surge in North Korean tests or a change in leader Kim Jong-un's stance. In fact, data collected by researchers show that the number of tests in 2017 is similar to the number last year, while the bellicose threats made against the United States and others are consistent. Building on decades of tests, North Korea has made remarkable technological gains in the past year, despite diplomatic and economic isolation. In the space of just a few months, Pyongyang conducted tests that showed it had boosted the range of its ballistic missiles and increased the yield of its nuclear weapons, as well as other, more subtle advances that shocked outside observers. A giant nuclear weapons test. North Korea tested only one nuclear weapon this year, as opposed to two last year. However, the size of the weapon tested September 3 dwarfed all previous tests. Most experts agree that the bomb's yield, or the energy generated by the blast, was at least 140 kilotons. Some respected analysts have even pegged it at 250 kilotons. If the higher estimate is true, that would mean that North Korea has a bomb almost 17 times the size of the one that was dropped on Hiroshima, Japan, in 1945. For comparison, the biggest weapon tested by North Korea before this year was between 10 kilotons and 20 kilotons. David Wright, co-director of the Global Security Program at the Union of Concerned Scientists, said he believes that the September 3 bomb was a real H-bomb, suggesting that North Korea wasn't lying when it said it had created a two-stage thermonuclear device shortly before this test. If this is true, it shows that North Korea has now mastered the more complicated technology that entered the US and Soviet arsenals in the 1950s after the first wave of nuclear weapons. Such a device dramatically increases the damage that could be inflicted on a city. It also could mean that North Korea's missile systems can afford to be significantly less accurate when used in a real-life attack because the blast itself would be so much bigger. An increased missile range. Although North Korea has conducted only one nuclear test in 2017, it has conducted at least 20 missile tests. In July, experts warned that some of its long-range missiles looked like intercontinental ballistic missiles, meaning that they would have a range of more than 3,400 miles. Those fears were confirmed November 28, when North Korea tested its Hwasong-15 missile. This enormous missile flew 54 minutes and traveled about 596 miles on a lofted trajectory. Its likely range was 8,100 miles, which would include the entire United States. The advance is significant. Last year, the longest range missile North Korea had tested had a range of just 2,500 miles.